I did start eating on camera. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Welcome into the company. How's everybody doing? It is Wednesday, November 4th. I'm here. That damn Sos is here. Rich is here. Izzo's here. And I know there was something we're supposed to talk about. Something's going on like right now. I don't really know. I think it's important to some people, maybe.
Oh, 50% off Halloween candy. That's the
that's what it is. And I missed it. All the candy was gone when I went to goddamn.
It is crazy because I went through Lowe's today and I was like, oh, let's go to this candy aisle. It's like bare. Nothing's left.
I always got mad. Like it was like Snickers and candy corn. I almost threw the shit across the store. Like, how about this?
Hold on a second now.
Wait, Snickers? I don't even eat Snickers, but I thought everybody liked them.
Man, I went for the Reese's.
Dude, you know,
I was at Walgreens and that aisle was already down to like 4.5 feet already. Like say 6 feet. Like it shrunk. I said, I ain't trying to be like that guy, be random, but y'all do 50% off candy, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's all y'all got left? And he laughed. He's like, there's people who wait on it and ask about it all the time.
I would be like, hey, it's back for me till I get here.
I was like, I didn't want any, but I just found that fascinating. Like, this is November 1st, and like you pretty much are done. Like y'all got that out for Christmas.
Yeah, man.
I got that owl ready for Christmas.
Exactly. And ain't no such thing as Thanksgiving candy, so I can't wait for nothing else.
Thank you. Yeah, we got gravy flavored Jolly Ranchers. Okay.
The next time this will happen is what? Easter?
Hey, those Cadbury cream eggs.
Oh, that's right. But even then,
Valentine's. Valentine's be popping.
Yeah.
Valentine's Eve is that day, man. You be seeing people. I was like, you don't give a shit about your mate. You out here just buying wild shit. Last hour. Shit. I'd be like, I wish I knew your girl or your. I'd be like,
you know, a nigga desperate during Valentine's Day when he get that big ass Hershey's kiss because that's like the last thing that be in the
you want that?
You waited.
You gotta do that roadside stop to get that teddy bear in a plastic bubble.
One that smell like Black and Miles and smoke.
Brian, you sound too familiar with that.
I was about to say Brian done bought one.
What else can it smell like? What's up, Mobile?
Oh man,
we know why we're here. We know what we came to talk about.
You know why we're here.
Yeah. So today is the day after Election Day, and they're still tallying and counting and trying to figure out who's fucking up and who's going to fuck up the country. Left. Hey, who's left?
Oh, sorry. What you mean? Who's left?
Like who are they? Who's still counting up?
Georgia, Pennsylvania,
Nevada,
Arizona, North Carolina, technically.
Yeah, technically North Carolina as well.
You know where they're going though.
Yeah.
Y'all had us hopeful, Rich. Y'all had
I know,
us so
man.
hopeful last night.
I was like sitting waiting, and I was like, okay, this might change, and then it's like, nope, because Wake County, like they had a lot of the precincts still coming in, and then they were like, nope, that's the way that it's gonna roll. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But the thing about it, what makes it funny though, is right. You can tell that this is North Carolina is an example of if you have a good candidate, they will go against the party line. So the Republican to kind of control everything in the state, but yet the governor of the state is a Democrat, and he overwhelmingly won, like by like a margin of almost 10%. So, even though Trump and most of the seats are going to be, set for Republican, I mean, it is what it is. So.
Yeah. Well, to say that I was shocked with the results of South Carolina would be a lie. Kind of expected what happened to happen. Not surprised at all. Way to go.
Jamie to win though, man.
You did kind of expect Jamie to win. Jamie,
he spent a lot of money.
Spent a whole lot of money.
Right.
Like $100 million. What did he spend?
It's like
close to 200 million.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, that's like presidential campaign money.
Yeah.
And couldn't pull it off. I mean, you know where he is. I don't think you're gonna not hear from him ever again. I'm sure.
He's a bright mind.
Yeah.
That's like Stacey Abrams. They're giving her a lot of props because she helped do a lot in Georgia. Georgia hasn't been blue. Not saying it'll go blue, but it's a good chance it can be, even though it's the final hours. Georgia hasn't been blue since 92. It's been red for everything.
Wow.
Obama, it was red for both of Obama's elections. It was red for 96. It was red for 2000. It was red in 2016, of course. But for it to even be this close is wild. But they said she did a lot to galvanize the vote for Black people in Georgia.
To answer your question, Paige, I didn't even know they still sold 7-Up, first of all. Wow. I kind of want one now.
Oh my God.
7-Up doesn't even cross my mind. Jesus.
Right.
I used to drink that when I had a stomach bug.
Right.
My thing was just like, it's not like I was like totally stressed over it, but I was trying not to get involved, like emotionally involved.
Great question. Mm-hmm.
Like I voted, whatever was going to happen was going to happen, but there is a bit of anxiety in there. Oh my God, what's going to happen? So it was there. I just tried to be busy.
Yeah, I never had anxiety up until 2016. That's when it started for me. That night just fucked me up with elections. Before that, I never had. I guess only election that didn't go the way I wanted to go when it comes to the general one was 04. I mean, 08 was fine, 12 was fine, 16 kind of was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think, in part, I think that's because, some of those other elections, they actually had candidates who were capable of actually handling the job.
Yeah, because I knew Bush could handle the job. Some of the military decisions I didn't necessarily care for, but like it wasn't like, the world might end type shit.
There was a level of competency that there was at least there. Whereas this, dude is just like, all right, like, okay, you have him come in, and this is the thing for me that it's not like I don't have an issue with the person who votes for Trump, right, in 2016, because it's like, okay, he's different from everything else. He's the new age of the GOP, whatever the case may be. 2016, it's like, okay, sure, fine. Now in 2020, we have a track record, And like, I mean, like you're talking about, how you ever seen in a movie when like a plane crashes in a field and it just leaves like a nice long trench when it's just burning all the way through. And then you see the plane or the ship at the end just burning. That's pretty much where we're going. And when I see that people still voted for him, I'm like, I don't know what you saw that got you to still make the decision a second time, because in many occasions it's been he's kind of circumvented things. He said, like, for example, like the healthcare plan that he's talked about since the moment he got in office. We like if Joe Biden wins, we will technically never see that plan that he said that he was going to have. Because he's not going to show it now.
It's like you had homework, but then school's canceled.
Right.
You're like, I don't got to show this.
That homework might be his taxes. That's what it's
right. But I'm gonna talk about how great that homework would have been if school had gone on.
That's correct.
Man, that essay was so good. Man, those citations I had. Oh my God.
I don't have it anymore now. After school was canceled, I ripped it up.
Right. So I don't know. It's like watching him, get this much. I think this is the thing about this election that just kind of bothers me, right? Is that this should not have been close, but it was. And that says something on both sides. It's like you have one side who is literally voting for a person because it is the team that they're going for. Like it's the sports team equivalent of policymaking, right? Then you have the other side, which when you look at the DNC, it's like, this is the best that you can do. And basically, because even the people that I've talked to outside of, you know, our circle, it's like basically it's settled for Biden. It's not like no one's really up for him. It's just like, well, this is the horse we put in the race. It's a very old horse, and
it's a couple ticks above what people felt about Hillary. I can tell though.
Correct. Yeah. It's like enough. It's funny because it's like this is 2016 on the inverse side of it, right? Mm-hmm. It's like enough people did not like Trump in order for Biden to win. Mm-hmm. And here we are. Whereas last night we were all, you know, I don't say like worried, but it was like, okay, you know what? Again, for me, it's like, hey, if the Republic wants Donald Trump to win, it is what it is. It's like that's where we are. But now it's like we are 6 electoral votes away from Joe Biden being president, and now it's like crickets. Because before it was like, it's going to be a red landslide to I'll just settle for a win to like, hey, guys, it's so stressful. I'm not going to talk about this anymore today. So I'm
like,
just
we there for 4 years for y'all just shoving that shit down our throats.
Right.
Like it's like y'all damn Cowboys fans. Sorry, Marcus, if you listening, but that's kind of how it felt for 4 years.
America's team, make America great again. It's the same thing.
That's how it felt,
bro.
Doesn't
make
sense.
Lose, y'all gonna talk.
When was this America's team? Who voted America's team?
I think, and Brian might like this. I always thought the Steelers were America's team. In my regard, maybe I'm different.
We'll take it. We'll take that. If you don't see I can't get things. See, that's why I couldn't be a weatherman. The shit be on the opposite side. Undefeated back there. Undefeated. But well, I said it before the show. Biden becoming president. We won't know what's going to happen until it happens. So
it's highly likely right now that he will be.
I don't want to call it because, you know, like Trump prematurely said it, which, by the way, I think it's hilarious. I think what if it was that Donald Trump would have won, right? But then he came out prematurely and the universe was like, you know what? Fuck that.
Fuck that. It's just like Florida was fucking up, and now the universe is sending Hurricane Ada back at that motherfucker real quick.
It's just like, oh man.
But what I was saying is, I said this before we were doing the show. I said Biden might become president and be a horrible president. But the first 4 years of Biden being a horrible president and caring about the next election is way safer than having Trump being the horrible president he is and not giving a fuck for the next 4 years. Because he doesn't have to worry about re-election.
Right. No. He can't.
Yeah. He can do whatever the fuck he want to do.
Yep.
So, it's almost over, guys. But we still got some tallies. We still got some people out there counting. Has it ever taken this long to get the tallies in?
Fucking yeah. 2000?
2000, yeah. I think people forget that wasn't settled until like the end of the month. Like technically.
I thought it was January when they finally said.
So, you know, this is the thing, right? It's like we're used to this cycle happening so much faster because usually it's a very clear winner, right? Like it's, you know, it's mathematically impossible. We figure that out the night of. In this case, the race is so razor thin tight to where if something switches either way, it could play out completely different for a candidate. Like, for example, Pennsylvania had a lead of like Trump had a lead of like almost like 1 million votes, right? Mm-hmm. And now when the mail-in ballots came through, it's shortened that lead down to almost 200,000. You know, Georgia, we're looking at it was like what, like maybe 400,000 or 500,000, and now we're like closing in on like 30. You know, it's like all these places that it's hilarious because remember how Trump during his campaign he was like, hey guys, look at Biden, you know, they're not, you know, his campaign rallies are not as big as mine, right? Biden was telling people to make sure you stay your ass in the house, fill out that ballot, and mail it in. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. And here we are. So I don't, it's like, in one way, I don't want to be like premature in saying that Biden's going to win, but it don't look good for Trump right now.
No. And
they said something on TV today. They said, honestly, to break it down, he has 3 miracles for it to happen. Like, you're lucky to get 1, let alone 3 right now.
Right.
Like, statistically, it's possible, but it has to be miracles, because these are all, we were saying before, like absentee ballots, because Trump kept telling people like absentee and mail-in ballots are evil. His people stayed home. Now all these places are counting absentee ballots. They said it's a lot of places 70 to 80% Biden votes because of that. This is why it's swinging, but evidently it's a conspiracy.
Yeah. Hey, Milo, Predaking, cut it out.
I wasn't even looking. When
they were having this argument in the chat. I'm like, yo, cut it out. But yeah,
I didn't see it.
So they started boarding up neighborhoods and businesses and all this stuff last weekend. And I honestly thought that they were doing it because they thought like Blackfoot was going to start rioting, because technically they think we've been rioting for the last few months, so they thought we were going to do it again. Right. Now that the election is turned this way, and you get these small groups of people starting to act stupid, it wasn't for Black people. It wasn't, because you got where is it that they have the group of people trying to stop the counting and
Detroit,
banging on the doors and trying to break into the building? Yeah, in Detroit. So they were boarding up the buildings for Trump supporters.
You know what's funny about that though is that so they were calling for Trump called for the vote count to stop in both Michigan and Pennsylvania. I don't understand what kind of 3D chess move a man was trying to make, because by the time he initiated the count to stop, he already was losing. So you're just going to secure Biden's win. It doesn't make any sense.
I honestly still don't think he really wanted to be president, and he's kind of just trying to go ahead and bow out.
I'll say this. This is what I think. I think in 2016 he didn't expect to win. In 2020 he didn't expect to lose.
Right. Yeah. Well, he had to have an inkling.
I don't think so. I think his ego, was the thing that's driving him on that. Was like, I can't lose because I'm Donald Trump. And I'm sure he was thinking that there's some legal loophole to try to get around all this stuff. And he didn't have his henchmen in place in those states, which is why whenever they tried to file the injunction in Michigan, it took place so late in the day to where it was like, it don't matter now. It's already too late. Yeah. The counts already exceeded the point of where you actually have a chance to actually win.
Damn, I forgot about that part. Part Bobby brought up. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Dude, the news cycle moves so fast. I totally forgot about that.
Right.
It moved so fast because they didn't want to focus on it, because they knew how bad that looked, how horrible that looked. And then I think it came out that the aid that car actually got damaged. They tried to say it was their fault because they were trying to push through the caravan of Trump cars.
Yeah, because they're hogging up the road, being what you want to say. Damn, they're being communist. If you want to be real,
it's really weird that the discussion now is like, oh well, they're blocking the roads, and this is for America's freedom. Yet, a couple months ago, but a couple of months ago, you remember when they were like, if there are protesters in the middle of the street, we need to go ahead and run them down because they're blocking the road and this, that, and the other. It's like, now it's okay. Like we're good with things as long as it's on our side that it benefits.
Well, you got to understand, Rich, when it's on that side, it's because of freedom and protecting their neighborhoods and protecting their heritage. So it's something's backing it. We just do it just to do it because it's fun.
It's fun to do bad things.
Yeah, it's fun. I want to do hood rat shit with my friends. Right. Smoke red cigarettes.
Oh man, this is so hilarious. It's like watching the breakdown of how people really look at politics. it's enlightening to see. It's like how did we get to the point where this man has literally told enough people to believe in the fact that he can do so much by doing so little?
You broke that down very well.
You know, I mean, that's it's because I mean, like, even to the point, it's like, okay, you know, sure, he's done one or two things, like with the criminal justice thing, commuting people's sentences. You know, he did that. You know, depending on your viewpoint, he's operated a more nationalist approach of making sure that America's first and removing troops from places, right? Depending on your viewpoint, it's like maybe that's a good thing. But at the end of the day, the two biggest things that he ran on, which was the repeal and replace element of the Affordable Care Act and building a wall between, you know, the U.S. and Mexico, neither of those happened while he had a Republican Senate.
That Mexico was going to pay for.
Thank you. On top of that, it's like
he actually built a better wall around the White House like 2 days ago than he did at the damn border. You saw this wall? This thing is beautiful. It's a concrete wall with indentions and shit. I'm like, what?
Unscalable.
Yes, and couldn't do it at the wall at the border.
He's trying.
And who paid for that?
We did.
Fuck, we did. Wall too.
Right.
But anyway, so what changes now?
Melania's fucking ready to go.
we'll get rid of the body double.
Melania about to take half of that.
That bitch got a U-Haul at the White House right now.
Hey, I do wonder like how that is going to look, because if she winds up leaving, right, that's gotta be like the moment where, you know, the Trump empire has fallen, because she, you know, we know that if she leaves, she's gonna put a book out, no question.
Yeah,
there's a book deal coming
with her broken English and everything.
Yeah. I forgot you were in DC, aren't you, or close to it, Milo? So I know you saw this wall going up, and it was quick. But Melania has a chance to come out on top, both financially,
I agree,
and looking like a hero.
Come up.
Yeah, so she leaves. People look at her like the victim. She had to put up with this dude for the 4 years in the White House. She starts some kind of campaign on becoming your own woman.
Wait a minute.
She can come up and she'll get a talk show.
But I mean, you marry him because you want to get financially straight.
Yeah,
but you don't expect your sugar daddy to become president. Like, it's like, shit, I didn't want to be in the public.
This is a way for her to clean her money, Sosa.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna take it. I get it.
Yeah, she don't have to be attached to him on that, because he's going to get his pockets ran, bro.
So I think, you know, to ask another question, what do you think is going to happen? How are his children going to play from here on out? Like, what do you think, specifically the one he and his prized possession, Ivanka?
I think she's gonna slide clean some way, somehow, because I hate to say how America works, but certain women of a demographic don't ever get caught up in anything.
Right.
She's been smart by staying kind of distanced. She's not playing like to Tweedledee and Tweedledum, right? Like, she's not playing to those two and just trying to make sure that they're all about, you know, how their father is going to actually wind up governing the country and trying to play that same side. Because Eric and Don Jr., what they do is they try to still provide that same rhetoric, to provide that same machismo that Trump has, but they don't have the charisma to actually back that up.
No.
So
what about Jared, since we spoke on them?
I mean, he's
Jared from Subway?
Jail.
No.
Jail time for everybody, what Bobby said. I'm cool with that.
My brother said.
Yeah.
You know what, man? Speaking of jail time, what I think might happen, right, is we obviously know that New York is hunting for him. Like, if he loses the day after inauguration day, there's going to be warrants. They're going to like send SWAT teams and everything if Trump does not leave this country.
This motherfucker gonna say,
give him the day after.
So
It's gonna be fast.
nah,
If they announce that Biden is president, they coming to get him tonight.
nah, they got to wait.
He still has this immunity, quote
has
unquote
his
immunity.
You remember how they used to camp out in front of Best Buy during Black Friday? You're gonna have the Fed camped out on the White House lawn, like
Just sitting there leaning against it, just looking at him. No fucking with you yet, but we coming for you.
You know what I honestly believe is going to happen with all of that. I know this sounds crazy, but I think. Oh man!
First news to first
awesome.
lady.
I think what's going to happen is, Trump is he's going to get arrested and indicted. He's going to go to trial. They're going to find a way to, if they actually put him in jail, however long it takes, to make sure that he does not have the opportunity to file to run for president. They're going to keep, if he gets sentenced, they're going to keep that sentence going all the way through there till the day after. Then Joe Biden's going to commute his sentence.
To answer his question, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If he can get out of the country, he's gone.
He's gonna go to Bali or somewhere like that, or just
this earlier, y'all. Trump's already gone. All those people y'all see him with at those press conferences, they're over
that was
there.
a fake White House set.
Yeah,
that's a green screen.
Trump was going a long time ago. That man took Spirit out of here. He is gone. Like nobody knew he left.
Yeah, nobody paying attention to Spirit.
No, absolutely not. Not Trump ain't on the Spirit.
Spirit's like a 96 Toyota Tercel out here, man. What are you talking about?
He probably took Air Force One, but took a magic marker and put Spirit on the side. He used the Sharpie. Spirit.
Wow.
But flight risk, yes. They're gonna get him right after the election is over.
Yeah, there's no question. They're not gonna let him slide on any of this stuff. So
it's not only the stuff that he was going to trial for before he was president.
Oh, there's new shit.
Oh yeah, because see, you can't hide. He won't be able to hide his tax returns anymore at this point. So now it's going to be like, what were you actually doing? And when they become part of the court record, then that's a whole different story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very disappointed that they weren't able to swing the Senate because they really could have shook him down.
Man,
to bring that up,
I still don't know how Mitch won.
I
still don't know how Mitch won.
I don't either. But you know what? So to be honest, it's like I don't see how he won, but at the same time, I do.
I'm not surprised.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. That's again, I think this comes back to where we are looking at politicians or these parties as if they're sports team, and it's like our team has to win by any means necessary.
And it should not be that way.
Nope, not at all.
You're free to vote for anybody you want to vote for.
Right.
You shouldn't have to walk away and be like, somebody asks you, hey, I voted for, let's say I'm a white male. Like, yeah, I voted for white male here in South Carolina. Let's say I live in Lexington. I voted for Trump. Somebody chastised me. I'm going to stand firm and like, why the fuck? Not say I voted for Biden. Why the fuck can't I? I'd be just like that. Why the fuck can't I vote for him? Why I got to vote for Trump? Like, it's for the better good of all of us, not just me as let's say I'm a good old boy. I ride a truck. Why does it matter? Like, I'm trying to look out for everybody, not just my guns, quote unquote, and my money. I don't make 400,000.
You know who Kentucky's a
South Carolina showed us who they were.
Yeah. Right. I swear.
But again,
man.
like I said, were you surprised?
Nah.
Not shocked at all. I'd have been surprised if it was a close race between Lindsey and Amy. I'd have been shocked.
Now the Senate polls were off like hell in a lot of places.
Right. Yeah.
The presidential's not as bad, but the Senate polls, yes, they were way off. Because I didn't expect it to be that wide for Jamie nor for I forgot the lady's name. I know her name. Amy, I knew it was Amy. I forgot her last name. Yep.
Yeah. it's weird seeing that Jamie Harrison had that much of a deficit in votes.
Man,
I mean, because and I mean, let's be honest. Like, you spent that much money in the state of South Carolina, and you couldn't pull this off. It's just like, what's being missed here? You know what I'm saying?
Just from just being out and I have conversations with people I don't know because I'll hear stuff like, "Hey, what you talking about?" I'll say that because when I hear stuff that sounds stupid, I'll jump into a conversation when it's like quote unquote propaganda, especially when it comes to politics. And like they're not even open to like a Democrat, let alone like a black Democrat being in that position for South Carolina. As if like I don't know if they think like this is gonna make black people more special or they just don't like the fact of black person in power. I don't get it.
I mean,
it's like Democrat work bad, then add a black one too. They go, oh no. And I'm like, but my man Tim Scott over here, who is the token child, it's fine. That ain't, I mean, he does some stuff, but I mean, it's a lot of people don't like him.
I guess a lot of people still feel like Obama was our everlasting gobstopper, you know? Like we should have got that and just been happy.
No,
like 20, 30 years now. Well, we should have had Obama.
But how can you, not even you, how can we always be stuck with the same shit that it's mediocrity we keep getting? It has nothing to do with them being white. It's just people getting in positions, get comfortable and like pretty much just make money off of us.
You just
and do nothing.
Lindsey Graham.
Say that again.
You just described Lindsey Graham.
Oh yeah, that's who I was trying to describe. I'm happy I described it. Tears are delicious,
dude. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall when was it Fox News when they broke that Arizona was going to Biden.
Man,
that motherfucker lost his shit.
When I saw when I got off work is when Michigan happened. I said, "Holy fucking shit!" Because it was so far behind when I went to bed last night.
Right.
But then I didn't realize. Go ahead, so I'm sorry. I talked to you.
Talking about that red Mirage, how it looks like it looks like this shit is we're good, and they talk that shit, and then all of a sudden numbers start popping. It's like, wait a minute, why are we trending in the reverse?
What channels were y'all watching last night when y'all were following coverage? Just so I know, like how people were covering it.
I didn't watch anything. I honestly was just It's more just looking at how the count slowly kept escalating up. Seeing our president do this, it's like he has done more to stop the election than to stop the spread of COVID. And that's frightening.
Man, I didn't even think about that.
Think about it. He has done more in the last 2 days to try to stop the count of the election than to stop the spread of COVID.
Yeah, I like Guardian. The comment on what he said.
He's taken more effort into stopping this election than a lot of things that he should have been focused on.
This is crazy. Like this honestly should be, and to be honest, if I was him, I would request a recount too. I don't necessarily think that saying you want to recount of votes is a bad thing. It's like, okay, you want to verify the results, cool. Yeah. But now once you recount, that's it. You don't.
Yeah, and he has to pay for it, by the way. His campaign has to pay for it.
Oh well, please let them have it.
That motherfucker is dead already, so go ahead.
He's gonna bankrupt again just cause.
And it's almost it's like almost a 21,000 vote like win that Biden got. We're talking about Wisconsin, and he wants to have a recount there. I'm like, so you trying to tell me there's 20,000 mistakes?
Nah,
that's well out of statistical margin of error, well outside of it by 1,000 times.
Yeah, even if you said like 10% of those votes were going to be counted, it's like okay,
still got them.
Well,
thanks. They said the most that they ever gained through a recount that they said in modern history was like 300 votes.
Shit,
and they said most time it's mostly like 10 to 15.
So we about to waste some time. Some taxpayer money on some bullshit.
A lot of people on TV at every channel, because I turned around when I got home. They said it's posturing.
Oh yeah,
he's doing it for his people. I don't understand. Like, what are you doing it for? I get it, but I don't get it.
I get it. I get it.
But I don't. I get it, but then I don't get it.
So,
it's like
so Rob's point, like the GOP is moving away from him because they don't need him. Like it's like when he was in office.
There you go.
When he was in office, he was keeping these people employed and he was firing people. So you were scared, right? We got to do the right thing because this man will fire us in a second. He's almost out. These people got reelected. They don't need him.
Mitch McConnell came out today and said that Trump should not have said what he did to prematurely call the race, right? Mitch McConnell. And remember, he's been all on Trump's nuts since like he got in office. So now it's like he has been, so now that he knows that he doesn't need Trump anymore, it's like, well, guess what, buddy?
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's good for another 2 years.
Right. So that's the thing. This is going to be the spark that could change the way the dynamic is. And that's why they're trying to play this. They're actually trying to, damn it, man. They're trying to play this really, really smart because I can guarantee you if for the midterms they wind up saying, all right, the GOP starts to try to do this whole, hey, we need to bring the country back together and do this, that, and the other. I think that's where they're going with this because they know now that if we don't need Trump, they got to bring people back in. So
y'all killing me with this name shit.
Now, you know what's going to be messed up, though? And God forbid this happen, okay? So Mitch is turning on him. I'm pretty sure Lindsey going to say something fucked up.
Oh, yeah. He's
GOP
tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, what's going to be fucked up if they do come out and say all this stuff about Trump and somehow he wins the election and then comes home? Now they got to be like, holy shit, I just talked shit about you on the news and you still work here.
You know what, man? But let's just be honest. Those are the same guys who literally said, use my own words against me. Nah, I don't think that we are in the place of where that would make any difference. The one thing I do think might happen, though, is that Trump loses, all the dirt he has on these people is going to come out.
Well, I mean, they got dirt on him, too, though.
Never-ending story.
Talking about the turtle in a never-ending story.
Never-ending story.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, if you like, I know they got dirt on each other, but Trump is the one who's going to be liable to release it.
Well,
yeah, Trump has the microfiche or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like that dude, he's a pussy. So you're right. What happened?
What Rob just typed? Please look at that.
No, I'm not posting that.
No. I didn't say post. I just told Sosa to look at it.
Oh man. So yeah, I think everybody's kind of tired of this shit. The only people that are still singing his praises are the poor people that were following him blindly, which I still don't understand. Like, you are in no better position than you were 4 years ago. Well, 4 years ago. You might have had a job then. Most likely you're out of a job now because you worked in an area where there were a lot of people, and now we got COVID. Trump threw out the playbook, so we didn't have anything to fall back on. You had to be sent home. You can't work in a lumber yard from home. So, I mean, you just in a fucked up position and you still out here caping for this dude. Like, you in the streets with signs and your kids and two of your wives, and you're just screaming this dude's name for what?
Whoa, why you talking about people from Utah like that, my nigga?
Whoa.
Right.
You said two of your wives.
Yeah, like two. Dose.
I didn't know where this was going.
Do you see? Never mind. No.
Nah, flourish.
So like he is the poker, not the pokey. But
oh man.
So yeah, I don't know. And these are the people that are the dangerous ones because they're
in their feelings.
Like I said, trying to kidnap judges, surrounding vans, stopping people in Walmart parking lots. So these are the ones you got to look out for. Am I afraid to leave the house after the election? No, I'm aware.
I'm not.
It's two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Right. Yeah.
It pays to be big and black, right, Brian? It pays off. Does pay off. People normally shut the fuck up when you just look.
I hadn't run into any of these incidents you keep seeing online where somebody was like, "Are you supposed to be here?" I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
But that happened. Here's the question: do y'all have your guns?
Not yet.
The answer should always be maybe. That's the answer you should give. You just give maybe. That's what the answer you give. Maybe.
Like I might not. Try me. Let's see what happens.
That's really the answer you need to give.
Do you feel like you should be armed? Like, do you feel in danger?
No.
Any of you?
No.
I have no issue with it. Like, it makes perfect sense, but I don't ever feel in danger. No.
I feel like ever since at least the turn of the millennium, everyone should have something. Because Columbine happened in what, 99?
Yes, because I was in high school. I remember that.
And
that was tense.
You keep going down the list from there, like the Charleston,
massacre,
massacre. Just go to El Paso and Walmart. Like, just keep going down the list. Like, people need to be prepared and people need to be armed. I'm not saying you got to flash your shit, and, go open carry and all of that, but have something on you.
Yeah. I don't remember
I feel like if more of us were armed, then what happened at the rally when the little boy was walking down the street shooting people, that would have been very short-lived. But that kind of showed you how unprepared we are for stuff to happen if something did pop off. Because it didn't seem like anybody had guns out there. No.
He was the only fucking...
Considering how dangerous we're supposed to be, it didn't seem like anybody had guns out there.
This is a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. Talk softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the threat of force existed, there probably wouldn't be as many issues, if you will. So, I mean, that's, I'm not, the unfortunate side of that coin is that if everybody starts carrying guns, and, you just have, a lot of armed people, and we don't know how to drive. So, I mean, think about, we're going to start just having guns everywhere, right? So, I mean, I don't necessarily have an issue with carrying a weapon. I just, whether or not it's the answer for the problem, I'm not really sure. But I will admit, it's like if there really wouldn't be, I guess, the statement of, well, stuff might not pop off the same kind of way if there is that threat.
That 17-year-old kid would have thought different. If he saw two other people with ARs, he'd be like, you know what? Let me go home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go play Fortnite.
Let me find me a Black Lives Matter t-shirt so I can join these fine people.
So I'm gonna go sit down in front of my computer and play PUBG.
I guarantee you, if Dylan Roof walked into that church and he saw a couple guns here and there, and I mean just the bulge, not the guns, but the bulge. Like, you know what? I'm good. Amen.
Yeah.
To Rob's point, I actually will say I have to agree with him. It's like it's funny how people have kind of misconstrued the use of the term Second Amendment. It's like a right to bear arms and free from tyranny of the, to protect yourself from the tyranny of the government, right? But yet these are the same people who blindly follow anytime there is a law enforcement issue, and are willing to exact the same thing. Was like, well, they should have complied and there wouldn't have been any problem. So it's a really strange way to look at how being armed and having the Second Amendment applies only to a certain group of people. Because I think we've joked about this before, right? Like, all of us, if we all went down to like a gun store saying we want to take lessons on how to shoot, there would probably be a different air about why we're trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it just being that we're just trying to learn and exercise our right that we have been enacted upon based on the Constitution that we're all governed by.
Yeah. whenever I hear the what was the thing you said just now? Shit. Oh, if they had just complied, I swear it's like an automatic shut the fuck up that comes out of my mouth.
Right.
And
Bitch,
I
shut
have
the
to stop.
fuck up.
Yeah, just that's the dumbest thing. Like, dude, the little boy that was playing with the water gun, where was his chance to comply, or where was his need to comply? The little girl that was sleeping in her bed, where was her comply necessity? So that whole argument is just dumb and stupid. And you're right; these people think they can battle with Leon. Leon has a tank. I think I saw that tank.
Leon about to be the next member of No Limit.
Well, he said, like I'm a basic.
What I do?
Bro, just gonna sit across the table like this the whole time. Tell me more.
Man, I just it's really weird. Like the way the interpretation of it. Oh, have any of y'all watched? I don't know if y'all.
Though. You can't be surprised. They do it with the Bible, like the whole Bible.
Thank you.
You knew they were going to take the Constitution and twist it.
have y'all what was it? 'Cause I actually saw Joe Rogan. He came to DPAC a couple years back, and it was right when he was doing the tour for the next Netflix special, Triggered. And he actually talked about this. He said, we look at the Constitution and people keep saying stuff like, yeah, the Constitution's right. And he's like, that document was written, close to 400 years ago. It's like, if you brought one of the forefathers to today, they just be like, so y'all didn't think up no new shit.
Well, yes. The good thing about it is it's a living document.
Right. No, y'all don't anything else? Coffee in the morning? Okay, close it.
That's why we have the amendments.
Right, agreed, and that's what's so weird about all this is like everybody's the one side of the argument is that the document is the way that it is. It's like, well, if that was the case, the 3/5 compromise would still be a thing, or the people's right to vote. I mean, like the 25th Amendment is actually used in the event that a president is not of sound mind. So it's like there are checks and balances that have been written in to try to get an understanding of how the Constitution is supposed to work. Realizing that, oh, you know what? We got some gaps in here. We need to kind of clean this up a little bit.
We probably should have pulled that 25th Amendment like 3 years ago.
Shit.
You know what, man?
That motherfucker was crazy. You knew he was crazy the first year. A nut. Certifiable.
But is the question is like he could be crazy, but is he sane? And I think that's the difference.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, it's the thing. I guess we'll never have to worry about that after January 20 something.
Well, then stop fucking listening to us. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
it's that simple. We're not.
But so I mean, I don't lost much,
and that's coming from a lawyer right there who said that.
Right. It's weird. It's like there is I think people forget that regardless of any document or law or context, it's like there is a continuum of thought that goes along with any of these things, and they're up for interpretation, and that's why there are more than one justice sitting on the Supreme Court. That's why you have two sides of an argument to be able to kind of figure out how all of these things work. It's unfortunate that people have now tried to have this strict it is what it is approach to how laws work, and clearly the document isn't perfect because we have had 25 times where it's been changed.
Well, you think about something like this because he said we're still using original documents, but you got to remember these same people who want to keep it the same are the same one who manipulate different verses and chapters in the Bible too.
Right.
So that's something I always think about. They want to hold on to these things, and I'm like, a lot of these things could be different interpretation. The Bible was written how long ago?
Well,
doesn't apply. Some stuff just does not apply. I'm sorry.
It was funny you just mentioned that because I think I made this point. Like Matthew McConaughey said, like the burning bush. He's like, I don't know what to do with that. Like that.
That's what I mean. That's sort of the ideals part, but
what you're trying to do is you take these stories and you try to be like, okay, you use them and you try to find some kind of scientific way. Like you talk about the Red Sea, we know why the Red Sea was red. All this other stuff, but like, why was the bush burning and talking?
Man, that's called marijuana.
Gotta be.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie.
Speaking of
their voices,
it was the burning. They was smoking it.
Speaking of marijuana, y'all saw what Oregon did, right?
Yeah.
No.
Oregon
No.
has decriminalized everything.
It is everything.
Yes, sir.
What you mean everything?
Cocaine,
Cocaine,
angel dust. You can go there and get fucked up.
So I don't know.
I'm scared.
I don't know the point.
You're gonna have Tyrone Bigums everywhere,
man. It's
you know what? I think they're trying to be funny because like, oh, y'all want rights? Okay, we'll give you everything. So now what happens if I'm in jail for something that you decriminalized? Am I packing my shit up to leave now?
You know what?
But it's got to be a loophole somewhere. Like
I haven't looked at the law yet. I just know that's just.
Or you mean simple possession is like decriminalized? Is that my guess? That's my guess because you're transporting a kilo. Like, come on, man.
Well, I mean but if you transport, you got to make it through several states to get there.
But up.
If you cross the line, like safe.
Right. Yep. Yeah, they decriminalized possession of quote unquote hard drugs.
Yeah. Which is fine because man, you're clogging up the court systems with this stuff, man. Clogging up jails with the
fine to a point.
I mean,
probably we're gonna take some splits on stuff. I'm fine with like weed, decriminalize weed. That's stupid. That is a natural thing that grows, that anybody can grow, that you can smoke. Now, stuff that you have to make, yeah, that's a criminal thing because if you got a meth lab in a neighborhood, that shit explodes. You kill half the neighborhood.
Right.
So I'm good with criminalizing stuff that you have to make, but like weed,
Let me take it that way, right?
Shrooms.
What about moonshine?
Yeah,
I don't turn a tap. I don't turn a tap out of a,
God damn it, man.
Yeah.
Anything.
You're not blowing up half the block because
you gotta ask questions to this shit.
I'm just saying you're the one that made a point.
So I'm just saying, okay. So moonshine, we can go with moonshine. The thing about moonshine is it is
all right, Rob.
All right, Rob.
All right, now
slippery slope because you criminalize moonshine, then you might as well take liquor out the store.
I agree.
Because I mean, what is a liquor? What do they call liquor places? Distilleries as well.
Distilleries.
Yeah, liquors are distilleries.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say that's just not like a big moonshine plant. So
agreed. So I'm not. So that's my thing. Is that we can accurately count for the number of deaths that alcohol involved fatalities occur over the last 50, 60 years. So the argument to say that we're talking about decriminalizing hard drugs when alcohol is honestly one of the leading factors in traffic fatalities across the nation, the argument could be made that alcohol should be illegal. I'm not saying that I'm for it, but it's like if you're saying that one is okay, then you kind of have to start looking at the others in the same light. I mean, did Brian freeze? I think he froze.
Yeah, Brian froze.
Damn it, that Celeron processor, I swear.
Oh my God.
I just worry about the people there because
I agree. That's what I'm more so concerned about, right?
The cokehead is just gonna be like, fuck it. I'm important. And it's just like innocent people are gonna have to deal with that shit because addicts gonna start, that crime rate gonna go up because of addicts.
I mean, but do you in a weird way, right? It's kind of like if they decriminalize these things, would that make the ease of access, use, and the problems associated with it go up as well? Because it could be that by decriminalizing it, it's kind of like, because it's not something that you have to like hide in taboo. It's kind of like, oh well, it's just like, I'm gonna smoke a little crack, like you know what I'm saying?
The thing about America is it's always, for whatever reason, we always do excess.
And that's true. Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Like the drinking age in Germany is what, 16?
Right. Yeah.
But the number of alcoholics we have like far outweighs whatever they have.
Right. That's fair.
They have the Autobahn where, they just riding.
Mm-hmm.
We have, we're stuck at 70 miles an hour, and we still have probably more accidents than they do.
Right.
So it's just something in Americans that we have excess stuck in our DNA. The bigger, the better.
we going for bigly on all things. Pimp hard, pimp harder.
It just, I think, yeah, people could be like, well, yeah, you can legalize it and people will lose interest. No, not in America. They'll be like, well, let me get a pound of that.
But it's funny you say that, because it's like they're doing this whole possession thing, but it's like, all right, but how do you get it there? Like, like,
right.
Like there's an element to this. It's like you're trying to throw the brick and hide the hand. It's like, right. we're not saying that it's cool, but at the same time we're not going to get you for it if you have it.
And, I mean, and Oregon's a port.
Oh,
I think they have a port.
Right.
Port of entry. So shit. Mexico will be like, fuck it.
We just go. We go take the long way. Oh man!
You'll have the black tar heroin from Mexico. You'll have the China white from Asia. Fuck it. You're gonna have all kind of shit in that area because the hard shit is decriminalized.
Right. Now, there in another state, because we're talking about how this is a more progressive move. You also have Florida saying they want to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour over the next 6 years.
Yeah, I did see that.
I don't. Why are we using this? Why are we using intervals? Why don't we just give it to them now?
Because you got inflation. To be honest, because if you did that immediately, that is going to destroy some businesses.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I get it. Oh, I get that. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, so this is going to be. It is honestly going to be like a really. It's weird because a lot of states have kind of like had their own policies and things that they put on the ballot, and it's like they're more progressive, but yet everybody's still on this whole like anti, like this anti-progressive agenda, or being progressive is bad. And it's like, well, there's a line and there's a continuum. It's also understanding that as we're going along, it's like people have new thoughts and new ideas of how they should be governed, and it's we the people. So
yeah,
if we think it's all right, then guess what?
Yeah.
And what happened to Brian, man?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I was sitting here looking at the demographics of who voted for who in our state. 96% of black women voted for Biden. I'm kind of pissed at black dudes. 82% voted for Biden. Okay.
Who?
Huh?
Mm-hmm. So, but that doesn't mean the rest of them. The rest of them voted for Trump?
Actually, no. I see it's a break off. So some voted independent, but it's still about 9 to 10% did vote for Biden. Just looking at like the size of the graph, it doesn't say a percentage.
Unless an independent has a great chance to win, why would you vote?
Yeah.
You know what, man? I'm always on the the camp of I don't think any vote is wasted. I just might not understand why you made the decision.
Yeah.
Because if a person's, like if a person decided that they wanted to pick the independent candidate or a libertarian candidate, for example, right? It's like, you know what? I get it. I might not agree with that decision, but that's fine. Same thing with Trump. It's like, that's your choice to exercise your right to do what you want. But it doesn't necessarily mean I have to understand it. It's like, well, because I see a lot of people they say like, well, a vote for like a third party is a vote for Trump. I'm like, no, it's not. That's a vote for third party.
And that's not the third party's problem. That's your problem not to bring that vote to you.
Right.
Or to your side or whatever.
Somebody answer Brian real quick. I can't.
Okay. I'm in the chat.
Oh. And then what she said.
What did she say?
Motherfuckers.
A lot of young black men chose not to vote also. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Carrie. I never see a lot of younger black males at my precinct, and I know there's a cluster around here. I can't speak to where everywhere in this area, but that kind of bothers me a lot.
The what was it? I think we talked about this last week. Is that the 18 to 34-year-old demographic? Only 40% of the people who are registered to vote actually vote, and that's across the board.
So America,
right?
Why?
So could you imagine what that looks like?
Oh, dude,
bump
that to 60%. We wouldn't even be talking about what happened last night,
bro. It's crazy because as you get older, that number ticks up to where it's almost 3/4 of the people voting actually they're making the policy. So you have, these septuagenarians out here voting for Biden and Trump because that's like, well, they think they have all the answers because they have a whole bunch of life experience and whatever the case would be. I mean, if you think about it, what is it, like 75% of Congress is over the age of 60?
Yeah.
Damn.
Making rules about things that aren't really progressive. Even if they're a Democrat, a lot of it's not super progressive because that's why we have younger people in there.
Or like
trying to put younger people in there now.
I think it's like the one moment that made me realize that this is a cluster is when the whole like the SOPA stuff came out, the Online Privacy Act.
Explain that real quick.
So basically, it was a couple of years back where they were talking about some of the things with the way that internet traffic is monitored and making sure, like the Electronic Frontier Foundation was really adamant about making sure that companies weren't able to just sell your information, one, and then two, it was also a matter of and these I'm kind of mixing a whole bunch of other stuff, but it's like they were making laws based on that. Then there was other things about how ISPs govern themselves, whether or not, with the FCC and the communication laws and all that. So it's like you get all of these things together, right? You got people making laws on pieces of technology that they don't have any understanding of how they work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just like watching this, you have, because think about it, man, like how many times have, even our parents have asked us for help on how to make something do things on the internet
all the time. Can you order this off of Amazon for me?
Right. Click 3 times, go.
That's pretty much it. They're afraid they're going to order it like 13 times or something. That's always the case.
I mean, whatever. Numbers are universal language, so.
Well, what she said young white men are groomed to vote as they damn sure are.
Man.
And we got to start talking. I mean, I don't have children, but that's something we got to ingrain if we have children. Hell, even somebody you might be mentoring, like that matters. Don't complain about like your voice isn't heard when you ain't even like exercising your voice.
My daughter, she voted.
Awesome. Was that her first time?
It was her first time. She's 20. And when did early voting start in South Carolina?
Oh, about a month ago. It started like the first week of October. If not like second week.
Month.
Mm-hmm.
She goes the night before she goes Monday night.
Uh-huh.
She's in line from like 4:30 to 8:30.
Oh yeah, I heard it was the club, bro. I heard it was the club.
said never again.
Nah, tell her don't have that thought process.
No. When I talked to her, I was like, "Did you mean you'll never vote again?" She's like, "No, I'm never gonna wait." That.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Okay, all right.
But as what, like how Kerry said, they're groomed to vote. We have to make sure, because Pretty King said it earlier. He was like, "I felt like I didn't do anything."
Right. And
voting, I mean, I used to think the same thing, but like I said, I was never a smart person. But I learned that, as you get older, you start thinking, yeah, a vote matters, because if you get 3, 4, 500 people that don't fucking vote, shit, all that shit adds up.
Right.
Across the county, across this district, across whatever.
Man, the thing, I think, especially in our community, I think the message is getting lost when we start saying things like vote because your ancestors died for that right. I don't think that doesn't resonate with people who are younger than us.
That resonates with me. That's one of the main reasons I started voting.
But that doesn't that bothers me, because we're not that far removed.
You're right. But see, the thing is, though, is that you have to understand, it's like, when we talk about things that you got to meet people where they're at, and younger people aren't thinking about the fact that this is something that was brought along with strife and with trial to be able to actually get to the point where you had the opportunity just to impact the nation. Where we're at right now is that they're like, you know what? I'm going to stand in line for several hours to vote for somebody that is not going to affect me. Why am I doing this? What am I getting out of it? That's the piece that we need to start explaining. So when we're talking about grooming people who are younger, it needs to be on that frame that it's like, all right, you are doing this because this impacts you. It's like, for example, I use this example all the time. It's like, if you're in a city and you got an issue with the police, guess who appoints the police chief? Either your city council members or your mayor, right? So what do? You change them out. You start to change the rest of the system. Correct. And then they have to acknowledge the fact that it's like, okay, we got to put somebody in here who's not going to screw things up. So that's the way that we're going to have to start, preaching the importance of the vote. It's not about, what the people that came before us, that we're standing on their shoulders. That's fine. I mean, that's a wonderful backdrop, but there has to be a purpose that aligns with the sensibilities of who these people are, which is the reality of they're like, hey, what's in it for me? Because at the end of the day, it's like you also have the barrier of, well, they don't think that I'm smart enough to be able to make this decision, so nothing that I do is going to make any change. So you got that element of it too. Because think about how many people who are older than us who look at an 18-year-old and then be like, they don't know what the hell they talking about.
Yeah,
but they have the right to vote, right?
Yeah, they absolutely do.
Yeah. Well, see, an 18-year-old, some 18-year-olds have already been working for about 2 years.
I agree.
So they see that their taxes are getting fucked up.
Where's this money going?
Right.
That's where you be like, you want to know why you vote? Look at your taxes.
Right.
That's why you're voting. And that was kind of how I bought it to my daughter 2 years ago. She didn't get it. And I don't know. I think something else clicked somewhere else. But I did put that message out, like, do you see your, FICA and all this other shit that they're taking out? And then she didn't get nothing back, and it was like, well, what the fuck?
Right. And but you gave her a concrete example as to why you're actually making this decision. It's not an abstract feel-good story about the triumph that our ancestors made. It's about that, and this is how what you're going to do impacts you and maybe other people around you.
Right.
Because
we're all about, what is this going to do for me?
Right. And if you start and if you come at it from a standpoint of, well, it's a nice to have, and it's something that it's a right that you have because someone else gave it to you. It's like, okay, that's nice, but how does that impact me? And if everybody else either A, doesn't think that I'm smart enough to actually do it, or there's no concrete way that I actually engage with the process, it's like, why am I doing it? Yeah. And I think we also got to do better at selling the fact that voting takes time. It's not. Well, let me say it this way: we got to get better at
it's a process.
People, you mean it's a process, and then it's like how do I want to frame it? It's like to research a candidate, right? Mm-hmm. Like you could spend hours trying to figure out all the candidates on your ballot. Like we need to stop selling this lie. Like, oh, just go out and vote. It's fine. Everything's cool. Like, nah. No. Like, because South Carolina still do straight ticket.
Yes.
Yeah, you could.
I can't stand that. Like, I think that. Yeah, I remember back when I was living in South Carolina, I never vote, even though it might wind up being a straight ticket. I'd never just do that because I think that cheapens the vote, and it gets back to what we were talking about earlier, where it's like it's just a party system, right? It's just it's another political sports team.
And honestly, I think in the South, a lot of people vote that way.
Yeah, I mean
those crazy libs.
Yeah,
man.
But I don't know. It's just this is all a learning process that unfortunately isn't easy to understand sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, I mean, going to vote, I mean, you need to do research, and that's just some people, even in this day and age where we're the age of technology, they don't want to do all that shit.
It's sad, man, because it's so. Could you imagine like trying to figure out who was on a ballot like almost 40 years ago, like trying to actually. Like actually trying to figure out who's doing what, how they were doing it, what were their positions. Like this should be
go to, like in Chicago, we had 2 big newspapers. Mm-hmm. So you would have to go to both newspapers and read everybody's fucking stance. Man, that's a lot of fucking reading. Where
right.
You go, I don't know, whatever, CNN, Vox, whatever, and they give you the highlights. This is
right.
Quick bullet points. So 40 years ago, that'd been a pain in the ass.
Can y'all see this?
What's that?
Oh, that was Brian. Damn, not Brian, that was Rich.
300 pounds of C4.
People.
Oh, gathering.
They're outside the election commission in Arizona. In the county that count those votes,
man, they need to stop.
Tears, they are so pussy. Excuse me, for whoever is like bothered by that word. That's what they are.
It's a great word.
I'd be more offended if you said they were moist.
Why'd you say the word?
Yeah. Hi, I'm back.
That damn Celeron processor.
Yeah, I'm buying a new computer tomorrow. I'm buying a brand new desktop in the morning. I gotta get one. It's gotta happen.
Brian got a machine.
I can't do it anymore. Brian got
a compact Presario.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Brian had a coochie. I was like, where did we get that?
No, he said an E machine.
He's gonna upgrade to a Pentium 4.
Hyper thread.
Hey, what was the big desktops that was like purple and red and green and shit that they came out with a long time ago? No, they came out with those. It was like see-through backs on them, and they were like.
Oh, you talking about the Apple? The Apple ones?
Hell yeah.
Oh, the IMAX. Was it IMAX?
Yeah.
Technically, that was the first IMAX because they were just CRTs.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Remember that you ever took astronomy?
Astronomy, yep.
Astronomy had nothing but those CRT IMAX in there.
Mm.
Yeah, we were in college. It was self-paced astronomy.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
We solved all the world's problems.
Yeah, we did.
That's what's up.
And now we're done.
Oh, okay. Shotgun topic. Rich, you went into the new store, the new Amazon, was it Amazon store?
Yeah, the Amazon 4-star, where
The
they
Amazon store only opened in Raleigh. It was the only one that's in existence right now.
Mm-hmm.
Rich is up there. How was it, Rich? Was it mind blowing and mind boggling? Did you were you amazed by the?
So
floors?
here's the thing funny about it, right? Like you walk into an Amazon store and like you walk in, and first off, it reminds me of if you took a Think Geek and designed it in Whole Foods colors.
Like
so
earth tones and shit.
Yeah, earth tones and whatnot. Yeah. So I walk in and it's just like stuff, kind of everywhere. Like there are things you walk in the store, you're like, okay. But then you're like, it's weird because it's like you can't really find the thing you're looking for. So it's not like you go in the store. It's almost like a place where you just go to waste your time, right? Because if you're really going on Amazon, you have a better experience going to Amazon's site to actually sort through things that you actually want and then picking out of that list instead of going into a store. And because now you're, how do I want to frame it? It's like, when you go to a buffet, you can't figure out what you want to eat because you got
get everything.
Right. But the
here's
problem
my
is,
theory.
you can't do that at an Amazon store, right?
My theory with the Amazon store, one thing is they don't want you coming in there for a specific thing. So they're not going to categorize anything.
I agree.
You need to feel like you're walking through a warehouse and you can find anything.
And that's kind of, I would agree. That's about
so
right.
What I would guess, or what I would imagine, like if you have an Amazon account in Raleigh and you're on Amazon.com, there are certain items that would alert you, hey, this is at the store. So you wouldn't have to order it. You can go pick it up. I would imagine. That's what I want you. If you ever go again, see something there, that's there. And then log on to your Amazon and see if it alerts you that, hey, this is at the store. So you don't have to order it if you don't want to.
I'll check, man, because I wasn't impressed. Like, not to the point where I would say I'm gonna go. It's not a destination spot for me. It's like if I was in the mall, I'd be like, sure, but COVID's kind of happening. It's like, nah, I'm kind of limiting outdoor contact. But but as far as actually going into the store to look at stuff, it's like, all right, it's a thing that Amazon's doing, and it's like, you know what, all right, that's different. Like for people who want, all right,
they're starting. They're thinking small.
Here's the funny thing about it: that Amazon store is actually where an Apple store used to be.
Oh, so it went from pretty to ugly.
I mean, it's different.
Apple stores make me nervous. It's like Apple stores should be just a store full of glass for me. Like I don't want to touch shit. I don't want to bump into nothing. I don't want to look at the samples. I just want to like put my arms like this and walk through, look through.
I see more people in an Apple store than actual products.
Oh yeah,
it's a boutique.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah,
store. It's pretty, man. It's like immaculate.
But then the workers are like douchebags, and they like T1000s just kind of melt up out the floor. Like, can I help you? No, I don't. I got an Android. I'm not in here for you.
Oh man,
FOH. But I think what they're doing, Amazon is. You said is it in a mall or is it near a mall?
It's in a mall. It is actually inside of Crabtree Valley Mall. Yeah.
All right. So what you're gonna see, because Amazon has their hands in everything, they'll start with that store. The next little area next to them, it'll be the grocery store because they bought Whole Foods.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll be Amazon Auto and Amazon Phone and Amazon Clothing, and it's going to be the mall.
Trash. I could honestly see that happening, where Amazon's going to start putting themselves into brick and mortar spaces just because they can.
Yeah,
this is the start. And I mean, again, it wasn't anything impressive. It's just like okay, it's like any other store you've been to, except you just see the Amazon logo kind of spaced throughout.
Mhm.
But it's nothing. It's not like I would go in there to actually buy stuff. Because I mean, the only reason why I would go there is if there's something that's Amazon specific that you're looking for, and you actually want to experience it there. But it's like
the Echo Dot.
Right. Yeah. If you're looking for an Echo Dot, but I mean, you can go to like any electronic store and almost do that. So,
but you can't get one from Amazon at any store.
I thought
in a world where there are no Echo Dots, they're at the Amazon store.
Yeah, they're a great world.
Yeah. But anyway, anybody had any other shotgun topics? Anything you wanted to hit on before we end this? I do apologize about my absence, guys. My computer is a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all had to agree.
We're support.
Yeah, support.
But yeah. Anybody had any shotgun topics? Anything you want to get
I'll
off
save
the
everything for next week. I'm tired.
Okay.
Being up last night watching results took everything out of me.
And we still don't have a definite thing, right? There's nothing nobody saying.
I haven't seen anything new. I'll probably watch TV till I go to sleep and find out.
So most likely this will be another maybe 1 to 2 days, guys. Just stick with it. Be safe. Don't listen.
Oh no, hold on a second. I'm just letting you know. You say 1 or 2 days. It's gonna be about a month before they confirm the results, because most states aren't going to confirm the results until like the 10th.
Which is fine, because he can't get inaugurated until the January 20th.
That's fine, but I think the longest state that has its their confirmation of results is like December. I can't remember what state it is, but it's like December 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, but then the Senate is going to actually be the ones to actually go through and do the actual vote tally for the Electoral College and all that stuff, which is the stuff you never really see. It's just kind of, it's like protocol, but Trump's about defying that. So we'll see how it plays out. So anyway,
Carrie, I'm not gonna lie, I did have my I did have my bat in my car because I was
I'm gonna start a ride.
I don't have a gun, but I'm gonna break a windshield or something in this bitch. But hopefully we gonna pray that nothing happens. Most of the really racist people are racist behind closed doors and behind hoods. They'll never say anything to somebody in their face. Okay. So most likely 9 times out of 10, you will not run into somebody who's going to try to do anything to you in the streets. But just in case, you need to have your weapon, and you need to have people that know where you are or have somebody with you.
Holy shit.
You okay?
Georgia's a 33 vote margin.
Not 33,000, 33?
33,000. I'm sorry, 33,000.
I was about to say.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it is 33. I saw that a while ago.
With 90,000 remaining to be counted.
By the way, I just put a picture of the chat of what this Amazon store looks like. You can see my point.
I'm tired, so I'm reading shit wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
Oh, Ralph, you came in late, man. Next time we do the show on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, man. Come in here earlier.
That's exactly what I thought it would be. It's just a.
But anyway, if you want to if you want to listen to any shows, we have several media outlets. I'll post that. Actually, just hit us up and we'll give you the link. And all of these videos are saved on our YouTube page. I can give you that link as well if you hit me up. If you just like looking at us and shit, like we ain't doing nothing extravagant, just kind of sitting here chit chatting.
What are you talking about?
Sosa has a beard sometimes he doesn't. It's really weird. Like he's like a villain, and then he's not.
So, evil Sosa.
When Sosa has a beard, he hasn't worked in a week.
Exactly. So we'll see y'all next Wednesday at 10 o'clock, man. I appreciate y'all coming in, allowing us to keep you company, and we'll see you next week.